Bucs fans, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are down 24-26 versus the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry World on Sunday Night Football. It was a bit of a shit show. There's all sorts of things to talk about, and we'll get to that. We'll go over Dritz 9-4, completely fucked by the refs. Argue with your mum. There was some dodgy ref calls in that. I mean, I'm not going to put just the ref calls on it. There's a lot of shit that we didn't do right. There's a lot of shit that went their way. Refs never get accountable. We know that. Literally have a list of every primetime game that we've had 12 years long history. Yeah, man, it's true. But it's not just that. That's played better in certain areas of the game. We made Cooper Rush look elite, and we'll talk about this. Let's start with the first quarter. The Buccaneers start off real slow. We go 0 to their 10. They score 10 points in the first quarter. We go 14 and they score 13. And then all of a sudden, the Buccaneers do start to come back in the second half. It seems like Coach Bowles kind of figured a few things out, but it was all for naught because the offense could not get it going in the second half. It literally was you could argue a poor offense, an offense that couldn't really get started, to a defense that could never finish, with an offense that couldn't really couldn't keep going, and a defense that could start to make these stops. So they really need to kind of figure out both sides of the ball. Not just that, there were some referee calls. There was some great opportunistic defense, mainly by the Dallas Cowboys. They had themselves two major plays that kind of helped their cause to winning this game. When you look at it and what this team can do, you can't give up a interception in the goal line in the end goal. You just can't. You've got to score that. That could potentially change the dynamic of the game. And then you have Bucky, who's got a way better. He doesn't have fumbleitis, basically, is what I'm trying to say in a very nice way. Is why wasn't Bucky on the field? No, I get it. There are plays that Rachaad White is very good at, and he's very good at catching in the backfield. It just felt like it was a very, what's the best way of putting this? A very Buccaneers blunder right there. And it was disappointing. But the Buccaneers, if we look down at the scoring, we'll go into that in a minute. We go into the third quarter. Both teams trade off field goals. The Buccaneers get the 7 with an opportunity to go and win the game and get snuffed out on the play. Buccaneers had more first downs, more total yardage, more passing yardage. Just shy on passing yardage, way more rushing yardage. This offense was way more efficient. First downs, time of possession, total yards, passing yards, but the penalty count was slightly higher. 6 to their 5. Total return yards was more. It was just when Dallas got the ball, they did stuff with it, and they got points out of it, whereas we didn't. Yards per play is not too big. When you look at it from a yards per play point of view, it's 5.9 versus 5.7. Total turnovers 2-1, and we lost the turnover battle. It's straight up why it went wrong, and what we got to fix. Turnovers and penalties. Baker Mayfield gets the 1 INT, which isn't on him at all. Don't have a problem with it. It was good football play. Genuinely good football play. Baker Mayfield, great day for him. Throwing the football, 31 for 43, 72% completion. Rashad had. Let's go into the rushing and attack. Baker Mayfield had 42 in 3 attempts. Rashad White had 10 in 3 attempts. Sterling Shepard had 1 in 14. Got injured on that play. Bucky got 16 and 68, giving him a 4.2 average on the day, and he got himself a touchdown as well. Mike Evans got himself 69 yards, not quite the 70-yard, 80-something yards that he needed, but, other gains will come. Payne Durham had a lot of catches in this one. Really the featured tight end with Tate Otten being out. Trey Palmer, I've just not been that impressed with what we're getting from him. I'm hoping that he builds up a bit more steam. Ryan Miller's starting to look like the better guy out of the two. Jalen McMillan continues to do Jalen McMillan things and probably should have had a touchdown in there somewhere as well. Rashad White, 51 yards. That's why he was in on that play. He was in on that play because he is the primary catching back. So when you have a play like that, that's where he's going to stand up. Not that Bucky can't do it, because we've seen him do it too. Sterling Shepard 1 for 20 in the receiving game, and Bucky Irvin 3 for 24. So we know that he can get going. According to my stats that I've been seeing, we did not sack the quarterback once. So let's go through some of the comments, because the comments have kind of lit up in a little minute. Defensive pass interference. Yeah, that was stupid. There was some stupid stuff, but there was that one that looked more like offensive pass interference. I don't know how that didn't get called. Bucky and Baker were great despite all. It's another Bucs can't win in primetime. Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. Art Smith says fireballs. I can understand why people are feeling it. He did not execute his defensive game plan until late into the second half, and sometimes Bowles can be a bit like that. He can be a bit stubborn. Drinking straight out of the bottle shakes my head. Hey, I did not get a chance to pour myself a drink. I've just come off a 73-hour working week. I am shattered. I watched 3/4 of this game. I had to watch part of it in the car. I don't have a drink to hand, so this was the drink to hand. Had nothing to do with the fact that the Buccaneers drive me to drink. It's that too. But at the same time, yeah, it is what it is. Firing Bowles gonna get them those calls. You sound stupid. Look, I don't think there's specifically any one thing, because you can put this on Cohen. Where was it? Where was the offense when the defense was getting stops? In the second half, this Dallas Cowboys team scored 3 points. Straight up. I can't point. I can't only solely point. You can't solely point the finger at Bowles alone. Now, we know that in the second half we got the touchdown, and prior to the touchdown we call a timeout. Now, there's some discussion on this. I've seen people saying that he shouldn't have called it, and we should have burnt more time off the clock and stuff. In a game of Madden, you can do that. In real life, no one's worrying about how much time they can fucking squeeze out of a clock. They're worried about fucking scoring. That's the only thing that fucking matters, is scoring. Not, we need to get another 30 seconds off the clock and then we'll score. Because that opportunity might not present itself. You take the time out, and I'm going to explain from a coach's point of view. People can disagree with me. This is just my own coaching philosophy. You take the time out to get your guys right. You have just gone fucking no huddle down the fucking field. Everyone's a little bit gassed. Now you want to get them right. Now you want to get them hyped and go, guys, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. And you're going to give them the 3 plays that you can just go bang, bang, bang to, because you only got a minute. You only got a minute. Now, would I have liked them to hold on to it? Of course, in an ideal world, I would. But I understand the thought process that's involved in it. I understand that sometimes you take the time out to go, right, guys, you know where you are. You know where this is. You know what you got to do. Get the fucking touchdown. Genuinely, that's how I feel about it. In a game of Madden, you call a timeout because it's a fucking game of Madden. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. You need to fucking score. That's the only thing that matters. The fucking clock is non-existent at this fucking point. You need to score. Your team has only got fucking 7 points to show for it. And you're sitting there going, oh no, we should go fucking burn another 30 seconds off the clock. Fuck off. You go and fucking score a fucking touchdown. That's the only thing that fucking matters. It does not matter. Because you don't know, by you not calling the timeout, that you get that touchdown and you don't end up kicking a fucking field goal. But hey, they don't get to score. Fine. Okay. The difference is I got an extra point out of it because they did get to score. So the difference is I get a point more than you did. And all I'm saying is there's a thought process to it, and I get it. I'm on board with it. I would call it, if it were me, I'd call a timeout in that situation. I would call a timeout and go, guys, bring it in. This is what we're doing. These are the plays that we're going to call. Everyone fucking lock in. It's going to get fucking bumpy. We need to get this. Like expressing the importance, expressing the situation though. Telling everyone what they need to hear at that point in time is enough to galvanize them, to push them over the fucking line to make sure you get the score. That's just my opinion. People, you can discuss it in the comments. I won't be here too long because I want to go to fucking bed. It is nearly 5 o'clock in the morning, and as I've said, I've worked a 70 fucking 3-hour working week, so I am fucking done. Hoping to do the aftermath tomorrow or Wednesday, tomorrow or Tuesday. Oh, Christmas Eve. I don't believe in that fucking Christmas Eve Eve bullshit because that's just shit. Defense trash as fuck. I disagree. They started off trash. I can completely have no argument. Why would, and this is where I will side with you, Art, on this one, is why would you go against why would you prep your defense to go up against a team that has Cooper Rush, who's got one of the fastest releases in football, who plays the dink and dunk fucking that's how he operates. Giving him space in cushion coverage and allowing him to have that time and those quick routes to develop the quick routes. You need to smother those routes that he's got less time to think. That's just my opinion. And I thought they did a better job of it in the second half. I'd have probably played a little bit of off man with press man. We did see that we did see that McCullum kind of got torched a little bit. Is why you can't live in press. Been telling people this for years. Everyone's thinking you just press, and that's all you need to do. Yeah, okay. Press is not the same as blocking. It's not the fucking same. They get remotely past you. It's done. It's over. It's finito. It's gone. You're fucked. You can't live in press man. You only live in press man if you're dominating them in press man. You wouldn't even do it then. That's high school football bullshit. No one does that in an NFL game. Not in the modern years. It just doesn't happen. You need to change it up. Off man, off press. I understand that cushion coverage has its place. I really do. But not every fucking third down and not all the fucking time. His Todd Bowles D is ass, is trash. He only plays aggressive if he's 14 points ahead. Dallas had one receiver with one arm and Cooper Rush don't run and they still torch with no pressure. I mean, maybe you got to ask yourselves the question is, why is there no pressure? Because we don't have the horse. I'm going to flat out say it. I don't think there's anyone. And Yaya Diaby's good. He's not great. He's good. He's not great. And people have got to stop fucking doing this because this irritates the shit out of me. Kalijah Kancey is a defensive lineman and an end in a 3-4 scheme. Not a 4-3. He's not a Simeon Rice. He's a 3-4 fucking D end. They are practically light defensive tackles. So if you think he's going to generate shit tons of pass rush, you're living in a fucking fantasy world. Stop it. There's only one person who's been able to do that, and that's Aaron Donald. Only one person who's been in a 3-4 defense that is able, and that's because they move him around everywhere. Kalijah Kancey will not be a premier pass rusher. He could be. I'm not saying he hasn't got the ability to be, but that's not his job. His job is to allow the guys around him to eat because they're too fucking worried about him because he's a thicker body and he's got speed and he's got power. That's the whole fucking point. Okay? Our pass rush doesn't always automatically get amazingly better because we have him. It doesn't. We don't have what we used to have. Yaya Dabi's good, but he ain't Shaq Barrett in his prime. And he ain't JPP. And we got to stop living in this fucking world where we think that's what we've got. We haven't. And that's what we need. We're pass rushers away. Pass rusher and a linebacker away from being great defensively. And that makes a big fucking difference. Because I keep getting people telling me that, oh, pass rush helps your fucking backs, your defensive backs out. Absolutely. If you've got no fucking, if you're not generating much pass rush, guess what tends to fucking happen? You get torched. You're missing another middle linebacker. You can't blitz your middle linebackers because your one middle linebacker that can fucking cover is sent on a blitz. I disagree with this because in the second half, they did shut him down. It was just too little, too late, and the offense did not turn up. But the defense turned up because they only scored fucking 3 points. They just gave up a shit ton in the beginning. Sometimes, and I don't know why, Coach Bowles can be a little bit stubborn. He can be a little bit stubborn, and he likes to feel out an opponent, and then he'll shut the door on him. But in this case, it was too little, too late, and his offense wasn't ready to go. I don't know why Liam stopped running the ball immediately once Dallas went up by more than one score. That's a fair question. Why would you? You've got plenty of time. It's not like you only worry about it if you're multiple scores down and you need to start scoring quickly, or you don't have faith in your run game. And if you look at the averages and the stats, his run game wasn't that bad. No. Oh my God. No. Do you know why no one runs no huddle all game? Because it doesn't fucking work. Fatigue and exhaustion sets in and your players make fucking fundamental mistakes. If every team could just run no huddle all the time, guess what they'd do? The play caller has less options. The quarterback has less options. Your line is fucking gassed, especially if you put in run plays in there, because you can't run the ball. You can't. It's much harder to run the ball in no huddle because run blocking is a lot harder than pass blocking. Ask any O-lineman. It's more fun, but it is a little bit more tiring. And yeah, it will take a toll on it will take a toll on the defense. You've got to be opportunistic. I'm not saying there's fault in your process. There's some good fault in your process. Maybe do that in certain situations when you kind of got a team reeling and that momentum's on your side. Maybe you go a little bit more no huddle to take over that momentum. Like we've got a bit of momentum. We're in their half. They've just conceded 5 yards. It's 2nd and 5. Boom. Let's go no fucking huddle to fucking knock them out. Makes sense. It makes sense. What you're looking at is the success that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had when they went no huddle. And that is what score that they got in the fourth quarter and the score that they got in deep into the second quarter. Very different. One had a prevent defense, and you're playing critical football where you have to be consistent. And I know everyone's going, "Oh, everyone should be dialed in." That it's live in the real world, right? You got to go home early your boss tells you got to go to make sure that you go home on time. You got to do X, Y, and Z, and then you can go home. As long as that's done, you can go home. It starts to creep close at the start of the shift. You're probably fucking banging it out as hard as you can. Then they'll come in the middle of the shift where you're like, "Fuck, I'm tired." Then you look at the time, like, "Fuck, I need to get out of town. I need to get out of Dodge. I need to get this shit done." You dial down, you get the work done. Stop just thinking that because it's sport and it matters to you so much that everyone's going to be like laser focused dialed in for fucking 3 hours. It's not the real world. You've got to live in the fact that there will be one or two members of the team won't be as fucking dialed in. Something will give them a lapse in concentration, whether it be momentum, an injury, all sorts of shit. It's up to the coaches. It's up to the senior players. It's up to the captains to make sure that you can keep them as dialed in as much as possible. But it does happen. If you genuinely think that every fucking team in the National Football League is just laser focused on every single aspect of the game, you're in fucking denial. That's not how the real world works. It never has. There are fucking army soldiers that probably have lapses in concentration, and they're supposed to be fucking defending the fucking country. Everyone does it. So let's keep moving on. At least hurry up. It's pretty much the fucking same thing. No hurdle and hurry up is kind of the same thing. Atlanta will undoubtedly lose to Washington next week, so we have, even with the win, we have that. And that's a great, look, that's how you got to look at it. That's how you got to look at it now, because you can't, the Buccaneers end up going into two teams with losing record, go up against two more teams with losing records. Yes, we saw that Carolina beat someone, and they'll be looking at us as the next team because they want to build momentum. That's fine. The Buccaneers need to match that. The Buccaneers want to be in the playoffs and win a division crown. They need to beat these teams straight up. That's what they got to do. Same with Washington. If they want to continue their success and have the success that they're having, they need to keep winning. If they want to hold on to wild cards and things like that, of that nature, or even creep into the top spot. I'm not sure how far away that is for them. But that's what they've got to do. And the Buccaneers have just got to win their games. We did not play a great game. We played poorly on the road, and it showed. I'm hoping this Buccaneers team can dust itself off, get itself ready, beat Carolina, beat the Saints, and then we'll see what Atlanta can do. I don't want us to be in the hunt. I want a division crown. But let's see how that goes. Bucs got me hot tonight. Yeah. I imagine you're pretty angry, but like the rest of us, there were some stupid things from referees. There were stupid things that lapses in concentration. There was stupid penalties. There was odd, fucking crazy fucking plays. It is just what it is. Torched offensive pass interference by Lamb couldn't have been more blatant. I agree. I totally agree. And I think the referee whiffed on that one. But that happened so fucking early, you can't say that was the reason you lost. So I'm a big believer in, if you've got game in front of you and you had opportunity to score and you're going to fucking talk about something that happened in the second quarter, like, are we really going there? That we're that kind of team that has to point fingers at people when we can point fingers at ourselves and go, we didn't do enough because this Buccaneers team didn't do enough. The referees had a part in it, for sure. I'm not going to blame this loss on the referees because we had a fucking opportunity to score multiple times. We had a score that went awry by someone ripping the ball out in the end zone. We had the last play of the game, pretty much, by us, resulting in a fucking fumble. That's shit that we can control. We can't control the referees, but we can control the other shit. That's on us. That's on us as a fucking football team. Blaming a ref is just denial and making out like the whole world's against you. That doesn't work. We needed to be better, and we weren't. That, in its simplicity, is why we lost. We weren't good enough on the occasion. Do I believe we can be? Absolutely. We can beat anybody on our day. We've already proven that this year. The problem is we're a bit of a seesaw team that I 100% believe the dude, when he comes in on the aftermath, said this, and I'm at 100% agreement. this Buccaneer football team plays up and down to its competition. If it thinks it can beat it, if they feel the team is lowly and sucky, they'll play lowly and sucky. If they feel a team is worth their time, they'll rise to the occasion. You saw it with the Chargers. You've seen it with Detroit. You saw it with Philadelphia. They respected the challenge and fought hard when they played against teams that felt they didn't deserve them. Now, I'm not saying that's how they are. It feels like that. It feels like they played down, because every time we play a team that, let's face it, shouldn't be in a conversation with us, bar one or two teams, we've lost to some fucking shitty teams, and it's irritating. We shouldn't lose to fucking Atlanta twice. Not a fucking chance. Shouldn't have. At least should have fucking split those games. But we didn't. San Francisco. We didn't respect them because we thought we were going to go in, we were going to get our win. And it wasn't to be. Buccaneers have just got to figure a way out, win these next two games, and I mean win them, because it's the only thing they can do right now. It's the only thing that's in their power is to win those two games, and let's see. Let's see if Atlanta can go the distance, because that's all that matters. Can Atlanta outlast us? And if they can we sneak into the division, the second division spot? And if the answer is yes, maybe we see Atlanta again, and we'll go to that stadium, Megatron's butt plug, and we'll whip them where we need to whip them in the playoffs. Yes, the division crown will be nice. Can you imagine whipping that team in Atlanta to knock them out of the playoffs, just like we did with the Saints? I'll take that. It's an easier road if we win the crown, and it feels better for sure. So let's see what happens if this Buccaneer team wins out the next two, and see if the Falcons can keep pace. And if they can, and we're both in the playoffs, let's get some revenge. It's that simple. That's how I look at it. Guys, it's always been a pleasure. Never a chore. I am absolutely knackered. I need to go and get myself some sleep. Hopefully to do the aftermath in the next 2 days. Obviously won't do one on Christmas Day. But other than that, guys, enjoy your Christmases, enjoy your the festivities, enjoy your holidays, and I will see you soon. Bucks on me, Bucks on free. 1, 2, 3, go Bucks!